Yes, sir. Welcome to and welcome back to HBCU, the show, the podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Good Rising Good People, Bobby K here, and my fellow co-host.
Yes, sir. It's Hashim the Dream. You already know what it is. And we got our lovely editor,
Wally not well, y'all. What's good?
Virgil. And we
Mm-hmm.
got a special guest here, as you can see in the New York fitted. Yeah, that's you. That's you.
Yeah.
I got
My
you.
brother.
All the way out east, away from civilization,
crazy.
Long Island.
Dead center. Dead center of the island.
Yeah.
Got you.
Right, chill out.
My brother, Hassan.
What's up, guys? Thank you. Thank
Hey,
you for having me.
where the special effects at? Pew, pew, pew.
Why? Why?
You're right. You're right.
Yes,
You know what? No,
sir.
that's actually a good one. You can use that one more. All right, don't do that,
There you go. Yeah. Asani, welcome to the show.
Thank you for
Great to
having
have
me.
you. I don't know if you've seen our previous episodes, but we appreciate you having us on. We haven't had a special guest in a minute, so
Okay.
thank you. With that being said, though, we are here with another topic, as you guys see from the title of the video, and basically, we're going to talk about has dating changed
Mm.
post-pandemic? As you guys have known, we've talked about the pandemic numerous times. Go watch our previous video on the after effects of 2020. But we wanted to focus specifically on dating, the dating scene, and how things have been shaking up the table. So, when you guys think of dating and how the dating scene was in terms of people's interactions and your own personal experiences pre-pandemic, before we get to post-pandemic, how do you measure it in a sense?
Can I just ask a precursor question?
bro.
Sure.
Specifically to my brother. What
Mhm.
do you consider dating? Just so we have this.
Oh, aye. Okay.
Ooh.
Good
All
question.
right. So dating is, I'm gonna say past 3 dates. Just make it easy. Because past 3 dates, that means that that's somebody that you're more than just trying to meet up with. Because 3 dates or less, why are you wasting? You could cut that off immediately. But 3 dates or more, you gave that time in. You went. Now after 3 dates, you got some time invested. That's what I consider dating.
So I have a
3 dates or more.
follow-up. Okay,
Mhm.
so I have a follow-up question that what Hashim asked. So do you consider dating just the act of going on dates with someone that you're interested in?
Mhm.
Or do you consider dating actually being with the person and like you guys are actively in a relationship? Like which one do you consider it under the umbrella of?
It's a fuzzy area. Fuzzy as all hell because we already went through the age before COVID where there was no such thing as dating. You just were, clapping cheeks, meeting up, clapping cheeks, and then you kept clapping cheeks until you were like, that's my significant other. That was it. It's a fact. That's exactly what happened. And that was pre-COVID. Then we went into COVID and we were just like, oh, how are we gonna see each other? Oh man, people got some pent up stress, and they're like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna risk it all, go see somebody. All day I saw it happening.
I must say, going from clapping cheeks to straight into a relationship is
It's
diabolical.
crazy. It's
Hasani,
crazy.
So
you
there was no
sound
in
like you have
between.
personal experience, brother.
Look,
There was no in between.
no, because the fuzzy area is those who are like, oh yeah, uh, you know, I'm dating and that's my girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. How did you get there? You dated the person. We don't say courting anymore. We don't say that I was fancying you, like old school nonsense. You say dating. Dating has covered too much now. Too much.
Well, we do stay courting. We've mentioned Hashim has definitely mentioned it in the past,
For
but
sure.
courting usually is entailing one sided. Is usually just men. If we're talking about like heterosexual like dynamics, it's
Mhm.
usually just like a man courting a woman. Usually, how it's looked at. It's never really like a woman's pursuing the guy or trying to approach the guy or anything like that. But nevertheless, how would you guys describe your, I guess, own dating experiences pre-pandemic before we get into like once COVID happened? So Wale, you want to go first?
All right, pre-pandemic.
Yeah,
All right, so
I was just
pre-pandemic.
treating you.
Pre-pandemic, well, so this is still when I'm in college, so I wasn't even all about that in the streets like that. To be honest with you, there was no action really to be seen there. Don't drink a red cup. Don't bring up a red cup, bro.
They both drank.
Hey, Hassan, yo, we didn't even synchronize that, bro. It was so crazy.
Yeah, I don't
Go
know if
ahead,
I don't know
go
if I
ahead.
like that energy. I don't
Go
like
ahead,
that
no.
energy. I know that based on what I've seen, like I can't speak from my own experience because I wasn't dating like that, but from what I've seen on social media or just people's dynamics, like there was more, I guess, people meet up, go on date. Actually, no, this is like when Tinder and all that shit was on the rise. So it was all the Tinder dates and Bumble. What was the other Hinge?
Hinge, yeah,
I
Hinge.
feel like Hinge got popping once COVID happened.
Probably did, but
personally.
Tinder was the main
Back and
one where the dating just regressed to like, oh, meeting up, Netflix and chilling, and Hashim, sound please, clapping cheeks. That was good time. That was pretty much it. I'm gonna let y'all go around and we'll talk about post pandemic.
Did you say that was a good time? Oh, that's
No.
what you was doing?
He's like, good time.
He's saying pre-pandemic. That's what he was saying.
No.
Oh, no, that's during pandemic.
He said, just make it clap.
Hashim's
That's what you was
timing
doing,
with
Wale?
Hashim's timing with the freaking sound.
Oh.
effect, bro.
Oh, okay,
Okay. I thought you was admitting that
Like
she was
once
being
again,
a little...
I wasn't all up in the dating scene like that. The most I did was go to some
Mhm.
parties in there, but I wasn't involved with
catching
no one.
wines.
Yes,
He was about his education.
exactly.
Give him the round of applause for that.
I was in the trenches.
I give
with
that to you.
schoolwork. Shit.
I give that to you.
Fair enough. Okay. Hashim.
Pre-pandemic. So yeah, college. I was already in a relationship, and then in college.
I was about to say, clarify that. Please clarify.
College after that. It's just you could just talk to people. It's normal. Like you were more cautious. Like I don't know if I want to go to your house or go out. Really go to the club. But there was definitely went out more and in places of like hundreds of people. I don't think that I would see that happen directly after COVID. Maybe now, not gonna lie, but you know,
I feel like when we say post COVID,
it's like a
dating
year.
scene wise, I feel like in 2021, like it was crazy outside because people was in the house for so long, like months and like a year at that point, and people was like really outside. Like I could distinctly remember myself. Okay, Hashim.
I said 2021. What in Vegas?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like 2021, that summer, I distinctly remember like I was outside a lot in terms of just like hanging out, being around homies, stuff like that. I was around Hashim several times. He was outside. So it was just kind of like Wale was outside too. And so I say that to say that I feel like people was very accessible and like once COVID kind of like eased up a little bit, people were starting to get the vaccine and people were yearning for like community and yearning to just have interactions with people in general, not just for dating, but just socially, period. But I would say personally that like pre-pandemic, it was really dating apps, I don't think was as prevalent as it became once
A lot of
COVID
Netflix and
happened?
chilling bullshit. I'll say that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
what I
agree with
seen.
Bobby because I know during the pandemic you had at least for like Tinder you could go worldwide. Like they gave you unlimited range.
Yep.
yes.
So
Yeah.
So-
and also there's a certain like let's be honest, there's a certain perception with Tinder. It's not really a dating app. It's for what is it, Hashim?
you asked Hassan. Right?
No. Oh, damn. Yo, wow.
Well, I
it's for
wasn't-
that
I
round of
wasn't-
applause. Round of applause, yes. I'm dead.
So Hassani, let me ask. So like
Mhm.
for you, how do you feel like post pandemic? What tendencies or what things did you notice change in terms of like dating, not just for yourself, but just in
Mhm.
general that you like saw?
So I'm going to speak upon what you just said about Tinder first. Pre-pandemic, it was a hit and miss, especially going into the pandemic. I knew a lot of people who, because Tinder was hot for a minute before the pandemic. So it went from that Netflix and chill to, all right, I'm not gonna go on to Tinder no more because everybody on there is just trying to find somebody to hook up with.
Right.
Right before the pandemic, I knew a lot of people who got into Tinder, which I found surprising at that point because I was like, I thought it was just for hooking up, whatever. That ended up meeting their somebody and getting married. Like I got at least 5 cases. 2 of them, I'm the one that was officiate for. So it was a little dicey situation pre-pandemic. Then pandemic, you guys all know, everybody was trying to Skype, Google Meets, all that nonsense, trying to have fun, doing whatever. But I also know people risked it all during the pandemic to be able to like, all right, I don't know when they're going to say that we can come out of here. I'm going to meet up with old thing. She said she's safe. I said I'm safe. Let's go do it. And I heard multiple cases. Yeah. Do you think?
Hey, I'm I can attest, like, that was the thing. I was, even the summer 2020, like, people was outside in summer 2020, like, in terms of, like, even just, like, hooping at the park, people was at the park, because at that point, like, the pandemic started in, March of that year, and so by the summertime, people was ready to go the fuck back outside, so people was, I was definitely, like, dating a little bit and everything, and so that's very accurate. People was not as concerned about the safety or the risk involved, which was kind of naive in us younger people to not really like give a damn about like possibly catching this whole like pandemic that's going outside. But that kind of shows like what happens when you're insulated for so long.
I would also like to say like during COVID, at least for the guys' perspective, we ain't got no barbers.
Bring
So
the mic
I don't
closer
know
to
if
you, Hashim.
we ain't got no barbers. So
I could cut your hair for you.
Nah.
You don't trust him to cut your hair?
Nah, not
I wouldn't touch that man's hair. Let it be.
Wait a minute. No. But you offered you offered to cut my hair.
Nah, shaping up. Wait, cut or shape up? Because shaping up is a total. Yeah, you are.
I need
Do your
a
thing.
skin and fade.
Yeah.
Square in the back. Tough cyber. It's fade.
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no.
I could do the square in the back. I got you.
That's it?
I'll just saying that so to say like at least especially during COVID, I know at least for myself, I didn't want to go out. I threw old pictures on those dating websites and because I didn't have no cut. I had a cut for like 6 weeks. No, 6 months. It's crazy.
What was for everybody, what was the prevalent dating apps if you were using them? Like I guess post pandemic that you use. For me, it was Hinge.
For me, it was my phone book. I'm gonna be real. I went through my phone book. I was like, "Yo, let me talk to some people that I haven't spoken to in a minute." I was like, "All right, yeah."
For me was my phone too. I guess my friends like blind dates and shit. Nah, when actually stop your face. Nah, friends would hit me up saying, "Yo, Wale, I got a blind date for you." I'm like, okay, all right. Or if I went to an event, I met something, we talked, we exchanged numbers, and that was it. So yeah, my phone.
Pause, Hashim. We need to grill Wale for a second. You went on blind dates? You?
I listen. I
don't trust nobody. You went on blind dates?
My friends put me on to them. I'm like, you know what? Why not? I trust these people. I got nothing to lose. I went on 2 of them, and I'm like, all right, I'm good with that. But they were all good. They were good. They like no one was weird. It was fun in the beginning, but then as time goes on, you get to know them. Then at some point you're like, oh yeah, it's not gonna work. I don't want to waste no one's time, especially my time. So let's just end it here. So they ended on cordial terms. It was all good. Dating apps. Some travel things. Bro. That's about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Wale was well rounded.
Yeah. You guys have to understand.
I was not on the dating. I'm still not on dating apps. So yeah.
Yeah, good for you. It's a bit. I feel like it's more authentic to meet somebody in a real day of life.
It's not even just about authentic. Like he was just saying, he trusted his friends because you knew more about your friends. Like if I hit you up, you're my brother. I'm like, yo, have you been anywhere? You're gonna tell me, hey, I went here, here, and here. Versus hitting up on a random Tinder or Hinge or whatever. And be like, hey, let's meet up here. I don't know who they've been with. I don't know who they've been around. Right?
Yep.
That's it.
That's
You
I would,
analyzed it.
that's fair. I would just play devil's advocate and say I'm not personally anti-dating app,
Mhm.
especially post-pandemic. I feel like the dating app allowed people to kind of like reset themselves because like when you inside for so long, like I feel like a lot of people lost that ability to just talk, just have a conversation, just be social with people. And I think the dating app kind of slowly reset people to allow them to meet new people, especially when it's not safe outside, everyone's social distancing, you're not sure who to be around. So if it's a specific person though that you've been talking to for a couple weeks or whatever, and you're like, hey, let's meet at this bar or meet at this place to get brunch or whatever, why not have at it? Like I'm not saying it's the end all be all. It shouldn't be, but I don't think dating apps are terrible. I think meeting in person is definitely better. I agree with Hashim with that though. Yes.
It's kind of killed the dating game though, because
Really?
more men don't want to just go up to women. Like if you see somebody that you're interested in, go and talk to them because everyone's like, oh, I'm afraid of her perceiving me this way, and or no, don't talk to me here, don't talk to me here, don't talk. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta let them say that to you.
Hashim, go first.
Get turned down. Don't be afraid of it.
I don't think maybe it did play a role, but I also think social media played a big role
Mhm.
in
Yes.
that.
You don't think they went
because-
hand in hand?
I'm not saying that didn't play a role, but I think social media more so. Like you always see, at least you see Jim did recording, like, oh my god, this guy was staring at me, all that type of thing. So it's discouraging guys to go up to women, in my opinion, because they don't want to be seen as bad or creepy.
Mhm.
If you don't look good to them, you're gonna be considered creepy.
So
But that would have been
No,
the case.
That goes for anybody.
That would have
Well,
been
no,
the
I
case anywhere.
I think
Period.
some of it.
You can,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry.
I was gonna say you can use the show You as an example. He is very creepy, but since they like him, the stuff he does isn't considered creepy.
No, but the thing, I don't agree with that fully because like Joe is very in the show you, he's very manipulative, and if like we're looking at it from an outside perspective, so from our perspective, Joe Goldberg's creepy as fuck. But if from the woman's perspective, I can see how if you are not used to someone like him who's very manipulative, who's very like charismatic, he's got a lot of charm. He's a white male with a lot of charm, so you know how that's hypnotizing to
true.
certain
That's
girls.
true.
Let's be
That's true.
honest. Let's be honest. I could see from their perspective how they was like, "Oh, I trust him to be around him." Am I wrong, Hashim? Am I bugging?
No, you're telling the truth.
Bro, the man would be like, they're asking him a question, he's just silent for 20 seconds, not saying anything. No, he's
that's something
silent.
I would-
They showed it. They showed it in the last season that he's dead silent. They'd be like, "What are you thinking?" And you don't
But
answer the question.
The fact is, they felt comfortable enough to sit there for 20 seconds.
Exactly.
And you know what would have happened in any other situation? Oh, leave.
Yes.
But
If
for
one
him,
of us- if one of us did that, 10
Mm-hmm.
seconds is we're cooked.
yep.
Delayed. It's
Here's-
over with, brother. It's
Yeah.
over.
Here's my thing with Hashim's comment. I would say that it's not so much as like you said, go up to a girl. If you're not attracted enough to them, they're gonna react in a way as if like, oh my, like, what are you doing? Like, the fuck? All right,
Mhm.
bye, creep, or boy, bye.
Mhm.
I think that's what he means. I'm not saying necessarily you are like you, Joe, creep, but it just depends on their preference, the situation, the environment. I was gonna add to to both of y'all's point that the social media and these apps kind of killed the dating scene, but not as well as just the social interactions. So if you go to a party now, no one's dancing anymore.
Not with each other. No.
No, it's just,
Yep.
guys and girls are not dancing like that with each other no more. It's a shot in the freaking dark if
Mm-hmm.
a girl's willing to dance with you, unless you're a good friend or something. But outside of that, at these functions, and sometimes for good reason, sometimes just for unfortunate reasons. No one just doesn't want to participate.
I think one bad thing about COVID that it did is that it made people very lacking of trust. And I think that has hurt dating a lot in
Hmm.
terms of even for instances of what you're talking about in a casual social function like a party or a concert or something. People have a like women, for example, have a harder time trusting men that they don't know to be comfortable enough to dance with them because they don't know what they might try to do,
Hmm.
even in a public setting that's crowded. Like they don't know
And
because
guys
things
with comments with who are actually decent, they don't want to be embarrassed in front of mad people, like because it's always
exactly
situations where the girl they want to dance with somehow it stars a line where it's kind of like the formation. It's like, oh, this is space. That's
movie
the girl you want to
scene.
dance with, and then you make it move, and they give
Mhm.
you that look. They're like, nah, and then everyone sees it. It's like, oh shit, damn. And
Yeah, fade
Wah,
into the
wah.
shadows.
yeah,
That Homer
Uh,
Simpson gift. He just
yeah.
it's
right back
it's
in the
getting to
shadow.
the point though. Yeah, it definitely has died down. The dating scene, more and more people are getting back into it because more and more people are going out to more events because even events numbers plummeted.
Yeah.
Even though people wanted to go outside, they didn't want to go to events.
Hmm.
Now, right, especially right around now,
Yeah,
bro,
it's picking up.
it it's picking up a lot,
I
a
think it's
lot, a
still in
lot.
effect. I think it's still in effect.
Oh
Even
yeah.
like in the sense of like if you look at artists, like they're not selling concerts and venues as well as they used to, like pre-pandemic.
Mhm.
And I think like those type of settings is where like a lot of people can meet as well. That's how I met my girl, like at a concert. So like I feel like those type of things are still having an after effect where people now like they like people got to cancel tour dates, all types of shit because they can't move numbers. They can't. They're not drawing people in, and I think that adds to the willing. People are trying to find ways to interact, and sometimes it can be online more so than in person,
Mhm.
which kind of hurts the social aspect of actually talking and having productive conversations. And that's why I think a lot of people are very, what was the word I
Standoffish.
mentioned? Standoffish, just kind of like lack of distrustful. I don't want people around me, that type of energy. I think that's where it comes from. The big word is distrust in terms of what has changed the most negatively in terms of like post pandemic. I don't know if you guys feel that sort of vibe and energy as well, but I think that's contributing a lot to like the difficulty of people to really meet the right person.
It's so yeah, yes, I agree. First, a lot more people. I think society in general. Forget about just being affected. Full on is just like, nah, I'm not gonna go back to doing what I was doing pre-pandemic. I'm older. What is that? Technically 2.5 years of you just going, I'm a different person. It's pretty much like you got locked up in jail, and then you just like, I'm free. I'm a different person. I'm not gonna go back to doing this. Not gonna go back to doing that. And people just acting different. Period.
Hmm.
And then not gonna go back to doing that. So if you're gonna meet somebody, and the problem with meeting people online is not just the yes, you got to be slick with your typing, slick with your words, and a lot of people can do that because they're keyboard warriors. But when that video pops up and you're seeing them face to face, there's a difference between me seeing you guys face to face and if we're in the same room, you feel the energy. You feel that charisma peeling off of certain people, and they're
Aura.
like, pull in, pull up. This is where you're supposed to be at. Versus, I'm here, I'm talking to you, I'm charismatic, but
If you got it,
it
you
only
got it.
goes so far. Yeah, if you got it, you got it. Versus the environment could kind of help you out if you're face to face with certain people.
Hmm.
Yo, Hashim, you got aura, bro?
Or
Yeah, I heard his old name was.
I'm like Duke Dennis before post COVID.
Oh,
Post
okay.
COVID, Wale, you got aura, bro?
Shit. Maybe.
I'm hockey.
Hey, with the shit. Maybe.
Maybe.
Wait.
What about you, Bobby? Bob Ertz?
I was about to say, man, always asking questions, but never
Right.
answering.
Gotta answer those.
I gotta coordinate the question. All right, here we go. I would say I have a presence. I don't want to say I have aura. That feels very like circle jerkish, but
No, it doesn't.
I think it does. It is nah. I mean, it's just like it's like saying it's like oh, I'm calling myself funny. Like I don't know. It's not up for me to determine. That's up for other people to determine. I would just say I have a certain presence. I would say when I like am in a room or something
Yo,
like
That's
that.
the same thing.
Huh?
That's the same thing. That's the same thing. You just use a synonym.
You know what?
Spell
Bobby,
synonym.
Bobby, shut up. Hassani, how you feel? What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
You got aura.
It depends.
Actually,
And it depends.
you talking about your phone being your dating app.
Nah, chill.
You do.
That's why I
Well,
say it depends. That's why I said it depends. Because if I'm around people who I already know,
Mm-hmm.
easy. I'm gonna have fun no matter what.
Yeah.
If it's a new crowd or I meet somebody new, I'm still gonna be fun, but the presence that I give off is more of a protective presence
Oh,
than
if we're talking about like that,
yeah.
yeah, I could say for Bobby back, like if we're talking in that case, then yeah, if I'm around people I know in an event or something, yeah, like we bring. Matter of fact, Bobby, you know, we've been to events, we bring up the mood of the whole damn event when people are standing around.
I would like to ask my brother. Short answer, right?
Sure.
Do you think you're an introvert or extrovert? Because that falls under what you guys were talking about.
But that just clashes with what I just said because I'm an introvert, hands down. If anybody ever asks me, if you go, yo, we're gonna make plans in a week or tomorrow night, do you want to roll out after 9 o'clock? I'm gonna be like, that's a tough get. But when I get out, if you get me at the house, it's a guaranteed fun time.
2 questions. One, I'm just 2 follow-ups. One, is it more so the time of like you're not the type that likes being out late night, but if it's an earlier plan, you with the shits? And 2, are you sure that you're an actual introvert or are you more of like an ambivert where you're like in between?
No, I'm an introvert. I'm definitely an introvert. It's not a question because it doesn't depend on the time of day, but I like to throw parties. Hold on. Hear me out. So house parties are my thing. When I lived in multiple areas in Queens, throughout Long Island, I always wanted to throw a party because, growing up, seeing all these stupid movies, I was like, yo, that's that shit right there. That's what I want to do. Pardon my French. I don't know if you guys, whatever. But that's my shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. But if you catch me on any 325 days of the year, inside is where I want to be at. You pulling up to me, and I'm not going out nowhere. Why am I going to go out and buy blah, 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 Macallan, whatever, and pay $150? Meanwhile, I could go get a bottle for $200 and change and pour out multiple glasses.
I would like to point out to the audience that Hashim has been making faces the entire time. Hashim, do you have something you want to add or detect?
Yeah. Lying. All right, go ahead. Tell me how I'm lying.
Hold on, brother. Let's go.
I listen.
This man goes out more than me. Wows, and Luke.
When I was younger,
you can't do an age thing.
But
no, I put it this way. All right, if me and you were to go out, not out, but like in a normal setting, I feel like you're more likely to start up a conversation or entertain a conversation with a random stranger.
But I had to become so. If I didn't teach myself to do that, because I wasn't always like that, I was always a quiet, shy kid growing up. I had to teach myself that for 2 reasons, and you're gonna laugh at it. One, because of you.
Me?
Yeah, because I didn't want you to be a quiet, shy kid like I was, because I missed out on certain opportunities. Because I didn't go out and meet people, network. And the second reason, work. Easiest practice. People only think you could network at events like work events. Nah, go out in public, meet people, and you'll be so surprised. So money was my grind. Money incentivized me to go meet those people. So it wasn't always the case. If I have a choice, because introvert, extrovert, it's not about your actions as much as what you feel inside. Like, what do you want to do initially? If I tell y'all right now, yo, I got about 500K, I'm gonna fly you all out to Vegas. Let's go have a weekend. What you saying?
Be out.
You out? You out? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I got a spot over here. Pull up over here. Like, I got. We could go rent. We could go rent a whole mansion out east. Got a pool, seaside view. Come on, that's what I would say. Because I don't want to have to travel and then lose time traveling. Meanwhile, I know I could go out to Southampton and have just good a time at a mansion party.
Nah, if I said I got 500K, I'll pay for your flight. I'll pay for the days you miss at work. Pull up to Vegas. You gotta be like, nah, we got.
All right. You just hit me with the days I miss at work. But yeah, all right.
Hold on, 500K. We going out the country. Y'all talking about some Vegas?
I guess first thing that popped in my head.
Bobby
First thing that popped in my head.
Off $1 million. Talking
No. First of all, no, he's right. No. If anything, you want to leave the country because it could be cheaper, especially if you go to Costa Rica, parts of Colombia, because Colombia is expensive in other parts.
Caribbean.
Jamaica's not that crazy. Honestly.
The Caribbean, stay away from Spain. If you want to venture, I've gone to a couple of them.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been to Japan yet, though. You know, I don't got that juice like you. All right, Mister, I'm about to go back twice. Yeah, go ahead.
I go on one trip, and
around to the other side of the world. I haven't made it to that side of the world yet.
Yeah, you can catch.
I still need to go to Africa and Asia.
I will say, you guys mentioning foreign countries. I think just kind of circling back.
Mm-hmm.
I think post pandemic has made people more, I guess, open to trying to date people outside of the country or outside of their state. Some people have experience with that, but yeah, I think that opened up the. I didn't say who. I just said certain people have experience with that.
Damn,
I gotta. No, go ahead. Do you think?
No,
I got something. Yeah, say what you.
Go ahead.
Oh, me? Oh,
no.
No, he's saying it to me.
Hassani?
So
Yeah,
based off of what you're saying, though, because now we're gonna go back to the dating section. A lot has happened from COVID to now for the whole battle of the sexes and nonsense. Because there was always a battle of the sexes pre-COVID, but we all got along, all got hurt. You know, got your thing from each other. Not saying that's what you go for, but you know, you get the idea. Now it's gotten to such a scale, it's political. And because it's attached to political point of views, this, that, and that, people are going, nah, I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I'm not going to have the conversation. I'm going to leave to go to another country where it's similar to my mindset. And it's easier for me to be around people that, you know, that have a similar mindset.
I'm gonna add two things. One, so the part where you said about the balance, sex, and the political thing, it's gotten to a point. I don't know what it is for the women, but for guys, I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff about passport bros and dating women outside of the U.S. That has been running rampant, and to the degree I'm like, that is dangerous work.
Very.
Like, and we're not just talking like close stuff like Caribbean. I'm talking just Asia, Africa, UK, right? Whatever. Like, that is on the rise for some reason. And there's been a lot of disagreements as far as men and women, like who ain't shit, who's this, who's more manipulative. A whole bunch of nonsense. And two, there has been an increase that I've noticed and experienced too with like online platforms like Discord, for example. You might meet people from a community from either gaming or anime or some kind of interest, some kind of niche interest. You find a community, you might find someone in that community you vibe with, you talk to like every day, and next thing you know, you find out, oh, we're dating. I'm gonna go pull up and see them. They could be living in another state, or you find out they're in New York. You meet people that way. There's been new ways you've been exploring and meeting new people and even trying to be in relationships with people. I've noticed that. I'm not gonna lie, I have been a part of that experience. It's been a weird ass experience. An experience.
You're
In
enjoying
some
it?
cases, weird, huh?
You're enjoying it? Are you
Ups,
enjoying it?
ups and downs.
Yeah.
Ups and downs.
Okay.
It's like
All right.
everything
All
in
right.
life.
I think any community has its own faults to it, especially like an online based community. But I think I would encourage anybody to have some semblance of whether it's an anime, whether it's wrestling, whether it's graphic design, whatever it is, to have like that sense of community. I
Mhm.
think that that's very beneficial, whether dating or platonically.
Mhm.
But
Now,
yeah, okay.
yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add to it. Like, I feel like one of the biggest problems with dating now is the lack of empathy and the lack of sensibility and I mean what I mean by that is kind of like I feel like people listen to a lot of these like podcasts that have very bad faith arguments or very like
Woo.
rage farming
Whatever
type
podcast.
content. Yes, and they people use these things instead of and also their hurtful experiences that they've had and they grind it together and make a whole like thread about like these different bullet points of why or these generalizations on men and things like that nature, some of which can apply, but it's the generalization part and the umbrella part of it that kind of hurts the dynamic. And men do it a lot too with women as well, like generalizing like women wanting high value men and all this other bullshit. And I think that type of stuff has kind of radiated and permeated so much to the forefront that it's hurt a lot of the dynamic because people already have an assumption before they even talk to the person on what their mindset is going to be before they even have like a conversation with them or anything.
Now, that is so answering Swale, right?
Mhm.
So going back to what you were saying, it also goes back to what Bobby's saying. A lot of people are leaving the country because of that experience or that social media brainwash kind of feel. They're like, all right, how am I going to meet somebody here? It's mainly in the US that you see people bickering so heavily that you can't even get a word out. You can't have a conversation. You can't get to go
You're
meet
canceled.
somebody and it be, yo, I just wanted to meet you. I saw you. You looked cute. We had a great conversation. You thought I looked cute. We had a great conversation. Maybe we should do it again. Nah, doesn't happen like that. There's always some prerequisites. At this time in my life, I need somebody that is making 500K, or I need somebody that's going to be willing to stay at home and only be a stay-at-home mom. Meanwhile, you can't afford them to be stay-at-home moms. So how are you going to be asking that nonsense?
Who's paying for the first date?
All,
Where are you going for
all
the first
that,
date?
50,
but all of
50,
that.
50.
That's why people go to other countries, and it could be Germany, it could be France, it could be the Caribbean. They're going to places that they know you're going to find somebody more likely than not that matches your energy.
Mhm.
Because I looked at it, Discord is a perfect example. I came into Discord only for gaming.
Mhm.
Only for gaming. There was no social aspect to it yet. It was just, hey, you're gaming, you're on a different platform. Yo, I could talk to you at the same time. Let's do it. Now it's a whole social aspect to it. If you're not connected to some social platform that you're streaming on or whatever else, you're using Discord wrong. And I've met the main people I talk to on here outside of like the Fortnite community: Jamaicans, Australians, Nigerians. Is it a coincidence? I think not, because all of them have a very commonality of being raised, culture, so forth and so on.
But I will add to that though, real quick, is if you do intend on genuinely not passport bros bullshit where I'm gonna go to another country to try to fuck some European girls.
Which, by the way,
Because
y'all gotta
I could,
stop that bullshit. By the way, stop that
yeah,
shit, because you will get set up, or you're setting up a poor woman for failure when your bum ass wants to say, "Oh, hit it, quit it, dip back to the U.S." Because now there's a child in
bingo,
your name.
Correct.
exactly. So not that dumb shit. I'm talking about if you are genuinely like, I can't find the lifestyle that I want, the family life that I want to build here. I want to take it abroad. I would hope you have a career path that allows you to do that.
Mhm.
If you're going to do that, though, you have to erase your American mindset, because even if you go
Right.
to the island or you go to another country, if you still have the mindset of the shit that is talked about here in the dating culture here, and you bring that shit that's not in the West to somewhere else,
Mhm.
you're gonna have the same issues because they're gonna look at you crazy as hell. Like, what are you talking about, 50? What are you talking about with like the roles and responsibilities and this, that, and the third? Like, they're gonna look at you crazy,
And
and
also,
they're more, yeah.
they might have a bias, like they might have an unconscious bias of how, because as an American, they might think, oh, I figure you act like this, and that. Now you have to combat that or re-educate some people so you can get a better, insight on who you truly are outside of what they think they see on social media.
Yeah. Like if you be yourself, you're gonna attract the person or people that should be around you. So
They
it doesn't matter if you're American or whatever nationality. Just be yourself.
It's hard to.
Yeah.
It's easy
Not
to
that
say,
open
but
and simple. Yeah.
when people
I mean-
tell other people that, it's because they're usually already did it and already have something. And the people who are being themselves and attract that naturally around them, they're not listening to that. The people that want to listen or need to listen to that are not that confident in themselves to go, oh, I'm gonna be myself. Nope.
At that point, you just gotta work on yourself. My advice:
That's key.
don't try to search for something or look for something. Just work on yourself till you build that confidence
Facts.
and know what you bring to the table. But that being said, before Bobby gets into
Oh,
another
damn.
question, I saw your wheels thinking.
I wasn't gonna ask another question. I was just gonna add to your point, and I was gonna agree with you, co-host,
Go ahead.
that I think also experience helps as well with what you just said. Like, the more experience that you gain in anything, the more confidence you should naturally have. The reason why man or woman would lack confidence in regards to dating wise or their prospects is probably because they don't have a lot of experience. And when you are told by so many people online or whatever that everyone thinks they know it all, that you should do this, and that, and you should look for this, and that, you're going to go based off of that. And then it's going to put you in more of a hole instead of you just having your own natural experience, getting rejected or finding out what you like, what you don't like. And then you could grow more into yourself, like Ashim said.
Thank you, Bobby.
You're welcome.
Fully
Stop
agree.
cutting me off.
Bro, I cut you off because the episode will go on for 2 hours. It's not
I'm
bad.
sorry that we are having an engaging discussion with a
It's
special
not-
guest, sir.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But that being said,
Yes.
any last thoughts before we
Let's-
wrap this up?
In this post-COVID world, I said in the last episode, discernment. Discern who is there for you and discern who's not there for you. It's a journey, but look, life is always about obstacles, and we all experienced the same obstacle, which was COVID. Now we gotta all deal with this shit together. So let's do better now. Let's cut the shit.
I would say for me, like, if you having trouble post-COVID with dating, like, you gotta probably adjust your mentality and your mindset. Stop looking for everything outside of your control and just focus on what you can do to improve yourself and what you actually want. Are you dating for experience? Are you dating just to fuck? Are you dating to marry? Figure out what you're looking for, and then based off of that, move accordingly and attract either person that you would want to attract.
You know, just do better. Nah, I'm playing. It's not always that you're the person at fault that you can't find or it's not working out with you. Maybe it's just, look, like it could be the other people or the people you're choosing. It's not always. It just may not meant to be, you know. But don't let that deter you from trying. You know.
Enjoy the journey and I'm going to say this because I'm a decent amount older than y'all. Time flies to a different degree after 30. And if you didn't enjoy it up until 30, I'm sorry, but it's only going to move faster. So enjoy it and take that time out to be able to do things that you always said, oh, I don't got time to do. Meet those people who you go, hey, you have my time. You're an important person to me. Make sure you made that time for the people that mean something to you.
Well, on that note, I would suggest that maybe we can do a part 2 and maybe do how relationships have been affected post-pandemic, because we're talking mainly about single people and not like people who are actually in like relationships and how that's affected that. But that could be a part 2. Let us know in the comments if you would want a part 2. Let us know how dating has affected you or anyone that you know post-pandemic, post-COVID, or pre-COVID. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Hassani, so much for being a special guest. We really appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Follow us on Instagram, HBCU3. All of our individual socials are there. Follow us on TikTok, the HBCU podcast. We're putting up videos on there. And until next time, we out of here. Peace.
Stay the fuck off TikTok. Damn it.
Oh, don't say that. We got TikTok.